translation and written Bible translation. Can we accept oral Bible translation as the authoritative word of God? Because we know that the Bible is our standard of truth. So we have the written word. So can we actually say that the OBT, oral Bible translation, is also authoritative?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. The major difference between the oral and the written Bible translation, as we all know, we have been on the written form for quite some time, and we find it so comfortable to access the Word of God in a written form. So, we now, or the Bible translators now come to realize that it's not all that have access to this written Bible, and even when they have access to it, they cannot actually understand what is there. They said, okay, fine, let's put it into audio, which is the oral now. Let's put it into audio so that even our mothers, our grandmothers, our parents that do not have access to access education like the way you and I, we are doing right now, they can be able to hear the word of God in their heart language, which is their mother language. So therefore, oral Bible translation, I see it as a more vital part of the Bible, because even a child that is born today, because a child that is born today started learning his heart language even without going to school. If you will agree with me on that. Now, our father, our grandfather that are in the village that could not go to school, they found to take care of us. They have access to it, they can listen to it, and they will understand the word of God. So therefore, you can easily preach the word of God using the oral form for their own understanding.
Okay, and then I want to also add now, this goes to anyone of you that would like to answer. Okay, so do we have, are there limitations in written translation and also OBT? What are those limitations and what are the advantages and advantages of the OBT?
Come in here.
Yes.
When you talk of linguistic is the scientific study of language. And the Bible happens to be one of the books that we study. The language policy in Nigeria have struggled to ensure that we have a Nigerian language, but it's not possible. We started late, because if you are going to have your own language, do you have the written form? Can somebody understand your language? If you go into our languages, the dialectical variation, let's say Plateau, just this area that is Anakuta, if you move very small, you will hear another version of Anakuta. If you move, you will get another version. So what I feel is that both written and oral is very important. But just like my Oga said, that the oral is more because you can hear, you understand. When you go to the written language, you go into things like morphology, phonetics, syntax, pragmatics, dealing with the actual words. That is not just any word that you use for the translation. It's not just any word. Many of us try to paraphrase. When we are trying to translate the Bible. So I feel both the written and the oral are okay, but looking at our own situation, taking a study of Nigeria as a country, I think oral, like he said, our parents in the village, like this example of this Bible I gave, if you play it for them, they will hear it. But when you then she replied, Ajesha enough. That was her response. So you see, but from there, when they explain to her what they meant, she will now understand. And since she now has the conviction, she can easily give her life to Christ. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, just to quickly add to this question, like Mama and my brother has mentioned, oral Bible translation and written Bible translation, we are not talking, the aim is not to look at the one that is more superior to the other, but we are looking at the goal. Written translation has been on ground since the time of church fathers like Martin Luther and Wycliffe. But then, coming to this modern era, there is a need, looking at the number of languages we have in Africa, in Asia, we can mention all the 6 to 7 continents that we have in the world. Those who are founders of the Bible translation organizations and the goal of Bible translation sat down. If we are going to focus particularly on written translation, it may take us another maybe 5 centuries before you could get the Old and New Testament across to all the languages we have across the world in written form. And like Mommy already mentioned, that there are certain things you must look at, and there are things you cannot overlook in written translation principles. That is why the vision of OBT, Oral Bible Translation, came in, so that the Bible or the Word of God can easily be reached. People can easily be reached with the Word of God in a short time. And we also know that in Africa, we are oral people. We are basically oral people. That doesn't mean we are not written people too, because that's another colonial lies. We are written, but we are also oral people. And an African man likes to tell their history in orality. So they now look at what would be better for this region, those living in this region. And that is why the vision of oral Bible translation came into place. Not that it is greater than written translation, but so that Jesus is coming soon. People can hear the word of God in a short, distant time. Thank you.
Yes, in addition to that, if you can remember on Monday, we had a paper, and I think our HOD did justice to that, in the sense that he answered it by starting from orality. He explained to us what orality is all about, and he captured everything there by reminding us that even the written that we have now started as what? As oral. Then coming back to written, and now coming to us Africans. If I can ask a question now, how many of us have read the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelation? We are few. But how many of us we have this Bible in our own languages, and how many times have we picked it and even read it? But when we have it orally, because it's spoken message of God, you can listen to it whenever you can listen to it inside your car. More so now, your young people, we are more familiar with soft life and easy life. To carry and reading control is what? Gradually fading away. So orally now, you can listen to it without anybody, without any stress. You feel like, yes, this is what a soft life to me. So there's need for us to have OBT. Talking about orthography, languages now, for you to start working on written Bible, you have to do their orthography. And that will take a lot of time for you to finish it. And then how many literate people do we have in our communities that they can read and write? So OBT is essential, is a need, not a limitation, and it has the authority, because whenever we are speaking, it is spoken down, we are discussing it, we are having conversation. When a pastor is interpreting it, is what? Using what? Spoken, not written. So that's why it carries the what? Authority of the word of God.
In summary, just to add to what they have all said, both aim at working at accuracy and all of that, and naturalness. Now, if I may ask a question, some of us all here are pastors, and some of us here are members. Like one of our doctor asked in one of our class, that was the day before yesterday, if you will ask, if any one of you here will remember what the sermon preached in the church 1 month ago, of course the answer would be, I don't remember, I cannot remember. But if you have been asked 30 years ago, the story your father tells you, or the story your father gives you 20 or 30 years ago, most of us here will raise up our hands and will remember. My father used to tell me this, my father used to tell me that. So it is rooted in us, like our brother have said, in Africa, that we are more of orality. That a writer said that if you hide something in a book An African man will never see it. So because we don't want to be side-funded or we don't want to be kept aside, so this idea of orality has come to play, and it will greatly help us in knowing the word of God. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much.
My question goes to Elisha. We know theories in translation. Translation will help us know that we have a meaning-based translation and a literal translation which is not true. In OPT, do you actually still do word or a meaning-based translation?
Okay, thank you for this beautiful question. This coming to our linguistics, because we have syntax, we have semantics, we have the etymologies. Each and every language has its own structure. Each and every language has its own structure. The structure of my language will be different from that of Hebrew, will be different from that of Greek, will be different with that of what? English. So we more focus on what the structure. So if your language is based on what word or based